I don't plan on leaving. So, and there's no truth to the rumor that I've added an inflatable exit to my office. So.
I am guessing that Congressman Ellen Grayson is not seeing the humor in this. He is a Democrat from Florida, as many of you know. We've had him on the show before, and he's good enough to join us once again. Congressman, thanks again for being with us. When Gibbs was talking about professional lefties, would that be you?
I think Gibbs was talking about the people who knocked on doors, the people who made phone calls, the people who contributed to Barack Obama's campaign. He was talking about the people who gave him his job and made it possible for Barack Obama to be president, and he was denigrating us. I think that's unfortunate.
He says at some point, and I didn't read this part of the quote, but I'm recalling now that he also said, he says, folks like you are not going to be happy until we have Canadian-style health care. In fact, that was the very first part of his quote. What do you make of that?
I make of it that he actually is on the other side. The reason why he's having so much difficulty in promoting the president's agenda and making progress is because it appears that secretly, or actually no longer secretly, it turns out that he actually knows Fox talking points and little else. The fact is that Canadians living in some of the harshest conditions on this planet live 3 years longer than Americans do on the average. Do you think that might have something to do with their health care system? He's listening too much to Fox. If people want to listen to Fox, they can turn on Fox. They shouldn't have to watch the same talking points be spewed by the president's own spokesman. I want the president to succeed. I want us to make progress as a country. I want to solve unemployment. I want to solve the health care problems. And we can't do it if somebody like that is speaking for the president.
Well, let me ask you a question, because, you know, here's what's interesting. If you listen to Republicans, they'll tell you that this president and Gibbs and everybody who is around him in this administration are all complete lefties. I keep hearing this every day. The most liberal president and administration in the history of the United States. Some go as far as to call them communists. So here you are on the left, saying that the president's administration, certainly his front man, is too far to the right, and the right is saying that the president is not only a lefty but a communist, no less.
That's not the point.
How do you reconcile both these things?
That's not the point. The point is he's a failure. I don't care left, right, center. That doesn't matter in that job. What matters is he has failed to promote the president's program and explain to the public what's going on. He's been outfoxed by Fox over and over again. Fox sets the agenda now in this country, not the president. That's why we hear so much about the birthers even today. That's why we hear about mosques. That's why we hear about repealing the 14th Amendment. And why we don't hear about what the president has done and what Congress has done in order to deal with the problems that face us. He's a failure. That's why he has to go.
But, Congressman, if he was here, he'd probably say, you don't understand. Having this job requires a certain level of diplomacy where you have to play to both sides. What would you say if he said that?
I think he simply hasn't done the job. It's that simple. The president has done all sorts of great things, and he keeps slipping in the polls. Why is that? Could it possibly have something to do with his spokesman? Is that conceivable?
All right, we'll have to put it at that. Congressman Grayson, thank you once again, sir, for coming on and sharing your perspective with us here on Rick's List.
Thank you, too.